Putting down a little bit with water into a square, a small square. And I'm doing this on a large scale for today, so you can see, so everybody can see real well that's standing around here how this works. But what we will be working on as soon as I'm done with the demonstration is a piece of drawing paper about this size. And when you're finished, your neutral grays will look like this. Okay? So don't get scared that we're all going to work this big. We've done the blue and orange already, and as you can see, when we mix the two complements together, we get a real nice neutral gray. It's not really warm, it's not really cool, it's just neutral. I'm going to go ahead and start with the green now. And its complement, which is red. One thing when you're doing these, when you go to mix the other color into one that you've already got spread out, make sure you have a clean brush, because if you don't, it's going to create a neutral gray over in your red, or over in your pure color right off the bat. You don't want that. What we're looking for here is a neutral gray right in the center. Now see, I've already got gray mixed in there, so I'm going to only be able to work right in this area. If I want to go back there, I have to clean it off. See, this gray is neutral as well, and after it dries, these will be very similar. All three of the neutral grays will be very similar. And in painting, this is really important, because if you don't want a green or a yellow or a color that you don't want, and you just want a gray, and working with certain colors, this is helpful to you to know what makes the neutral gray. Of course, depends on what colors you're using with it. As long as you know what one color is, you know by the color wheel the opposite needed to get that gray. New brush. And I'd suggest, if you're having trouble with keeping your water clean, that you do the yellow and violet one first, because it tends to show up the contaminated, it gets the other colors mixed into it faster than others. See here, we have another neutral gray. If you squint your eyes at this, the neutral grays are in the center of these colors, with the exception of some being a little bit more color on than others. They all come out pretty much the same hue, or the same value. Alright, that's basically what we're going to do. Now, if you want to experiment with the other colors with all 6 of the colors, actually all 12 colors on the 12 color wheel, you can do that. Today we're just going to do the primary colors. So let's already go back to our seats. And I'll hand out the paper. I'll set this up here for you guys to see. Forget to put your name at the top of your worksheet that we did earlier today, and turn that in with our gray test sheet. One thing before we start that, I want to take a couple paintings here and show you how an actual painting in neutral gray works. We were just working the squash today, but this happens to be an oil painting. The person that's painted here has used a lot of green, and in some areas he wanted a dark gray. Now he could have added black, but what he would have had was kind of a muddy color. He didn't want that. So instead, he chose to use red. And if you look real close here, there's red over the top of that green. And when you get back from it, it becomes a neutral gray, almost black. You'll find with the dark colors, like your blue, violet, and your orange, your yellow, orange, you get a real dark gray, almost a black. So that's a way we can paint without using black at all. In this painting, there's a shadow area in here that was used. And basic, what are the two basic complementary colors used in this painting?
Blue and orange.
Okay. It's overall blue and orange. And as we can see, this shadow gray area in here, if we would have used, say, yellow and blue, we would have got a green, right? Because yellow and blue is green. And if we didn't want that green, we would have had to use blue's complement, which would have been orange. And then you can see how we get a real nice gray in that area. All right, does everybody have gouache? And everybody should have a watercolor brush also, and clean dish of water in front of them. Go ahead and work on these. Also, I might point out here, be sure not only to include your name, but to write the color down underneath the area where we painted. Blue, orange, violet, yellow, green, red. Make sure you identify those. Okay, let's go to work.
Good morning. How is everyone today?
Fine.
How you doing, Wes? You cold?
Day.
Yeah, it's a little bit cold outside. I can't decide whether it's gonna snow or rain or whatever. I think if it's cold, I'd like for it to snow and get it over with. Well, today we're going to be talking a little bit about feelings and how we can portray our feelings in our artwork. So, the first thing I'd like you to do, there's some colored papers in front of you, and we're going to be working on with pastels, okay? So you can choose. I'd like you to use a dark color, particularly if you use a light piece of paper. And I'm going to be showing you some slides a little bit later, some pictures, excuse me. Some of these pictures will portray feelings in the artwork, and I'll give you an idea. But what I want you to work on, how many of you in here today can write your name? Okay, well then, this shouldn't be any problem with you. You probably did a grade on this. So why don't you take one of the black pieces of charcoal, you can take this one or something, and I want you to just write your name exactly the way you would sign your name. Okay, does that sound like be pretty easy?
Got a number of ways.
Number of ways? Well, maybe the way you would sign it on a paper for one of your teachers so that they can at least read it. Okay, now, does everybody have that one finished? That doesn't take too long, does it? Okay. Why don't you list for me maybe some feelings? Now, not feelings as far as texture, like roughness or smooth, but feelings as maybe sad or happy. Can you give me some examples of feelings? I think I'll write these on the board for you. Okay. Do you have an example? Maybe you can think of one?
Red would probably like mean and hot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not as far as colors. I'm just using a color to write them on this. Maybe frustration would be another example. Just some things that while you're going through the day, if something happens to you or you have a feeling towards something. I'll go ahead and write down frustration. I'm happy. Sad. Okay. Can you think of any more? Okay, what about if, say you're walking down the hall and somebody just bumps right into you and smashes all your books all over the floor? How are you going to feel? Embarrassed? Okay. Embarrassed. Something like that. Okay. What's another one? How else might you feel if you're running really late and you know you're going to get in trouble? You think you might be angry?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So these are just some feelings. So the first, and we're going to try and write our names according to these feelings that we feel. The first one I'd like you to try and write your name as, you've got your normal signature. To maybe get us into this feeling a little bit, try writing your name with the opposite hand that you would normally use. Say if you're right-handed, use your left hand, and if you're left-handed, try and use your right hand to sign your name.
Nice eraser.
Is that pretty hard to do?
Can't read it.
Yeah, well, that's all right. It doesn't matter if we can read it or not. Okay, why don't you go ahead and number these so we know which one they are. Number 1 for your normal signature, number 2 for the opposite one. The third one I want you to try and do is maybe frustrated. Maybe if you're really frustrated or tense, maybe the strokes of your name would be real bold or just real tense looking.
Do I need to print it maybe or not?
Yeah, if you want to print it, you can write it just however way you could do that to show that you're frustrated or tense. Like this kind of looks frustrating and tense.
Oh, really?
Okay, that's pretty good. The next one I'd like you to try and write is maybe angry. And those might look kind of similar once you're finished with it. And that'd be number 4. And if you can use as much room as you want because we have some more papers. Okay, that's very good. What makes that one different than maybe your normal signature? How does this one look different?
Looks like it's pressed real hard.
Pressed real hard? Okay, that's one sign of maybe showing anger. How about this, even the value of it, the whole value of this?
Bold,
It's bold.
loud.
And it's darker, isn't it? Sometimes we show feelings through the darkness and the lightness of things. Now I noticed in some of you that when you were doing your names for angry, you held your mouth and your jaw real tight, and you just felt kind of angry, didn't you? And you felt that's good. Well, that's all part of it. Okay, the next one, there's only 2 more we're going to do. So the next one will be number 5. This one I want to be real confident and stable, almost like maybe you're going for an interview and you want to portray to the person that you're writing your name of stability and that you know what you're doing and you're real proud of your name. And how would you write that? Maybe it would be an elegant fashion. Okay, you got that one finished? The last one, and we may get a lot of different responses on this one. I want you to pretend that you're another person. You have the same name, but you're a totally different person. Maybe you're a basketball star, or some of you are in football. Pretend that you're something else. But maybe you're even a singer or a doctor. Of course, if you're a doctor, then you won't be able to read it. Go ahead and just pretend that you're someone else writing your name. And so try and make it look as different from the way you would write it as possible. Okay, good. Who were you Who maybe were you trying to be in this one?
This is more like my mom's way. She
Mom's
likes real
way?
big.
That's so good. Okay, these are all really good. That's so sometimes good. Okay, I'm gonna collect these and I'm just gonna set them over here for right now. And we're gonna look at some pictures of some artists, some paintings and some drawings of artists that have tried to portray a feeling or even create a feeling in others when they look at their artwork. The first person we're going to look at is Turner. And who can tell me with this picture right here, what do you think maybe he was feeling when he painted this particular painting? Or, first of all, what might it portray to you? Looking at this, what do you think maybe that tragedy in it? Okay, or even in anger or frustration, kind of like yours is it's kind of bold and coming around and it's showing maybe some anger and storm things. Okay, now how does that one, in contrast to another one, this is the same artist, how would it be in contrast to this one right here?
It's real peaceful.
Real peaceful, right. So maybe in this mood, maybe he was even in two totally different moods at the time. And I'll show it to everyone. He might have been in totally two different moods when he was painting this particular painting and then this other one that we were looking at. Okay, the last one I want to show you from Turner is this one. And what kind of painting or would you say this is? Do you think it was happy? Dismal?
Quiet.
Kind of depressing maybe? What might you think that it looks kind of depressing? Or why would it look kind of depressing?
On fire.
The ship's on fire. And it's really dark. The area around here is dark. And in some of these others it was during the daytime. And this one's more during the nighttime. And it's just the whole overall picture is more dark and depressing. Okay? I'm going to show you a different artist. His name is Edward Munch. This one is kind of similar to the one I just showed you. What would you say this one would portray? Can you see this one back there, Will?
Yeah, sure good.
Loneliness, good. That was exactly what I thought when I saw this. There's a guy in the background and he's just all by himself and the room's dark and he's kind of peering out and it looks real lonely and you feel really sad or sorry for this person. Okay, good. You guys are doing really well. Okay, and the other one by Munch is this one. What do you think when you see this painting or etching?
Horror.
Horror?
Horror or fear.
There. This one it actually is called The Scream. If that might give you a little bit of an idea of what you're supposed to react. It looks kind of scary to me too, or fearful. Or even like a confusing state, like he's just really confused. Okay. Now we'll look at some others. These have all been kind of down, depressing. How about this one? What does this one make you feel? Bright sunlight, more of a cheerful kind of picture, isn't it? Okay. Then, okay, this one is The Pond by Corot. He's one of my favorite artists. How does this one's a little bit smaller, so I'll bring it up closer.
It's really relaxing.
Relaxing. Okay.
It's going out of focus. Hang on a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I know.
Okay. That was more of a peaceful, even a stable kind of picture. We've got the trees and they're all standing pretty straight and strong. There's not too much wind, maybe just a little bit of a breeze, but this one kind of reminds me of confidence. You know, there's some some cows in the background and you know, maybe prosperity, but it's just a real stable picture. As opposed to this one's by Van Gogh. How does this one make you feel? This is the last one we'll look at for right now.
It's kind of gloomy to me.
Gloomy? This one made me feel a little bit worried or kind of uneasiness because all of these lines in here, they're all kind of waving or going a different direction, and so it kind of gives you a feeling of uneasiness or
Tenseness, yeah.
yeah, kind of tenseness. It's not really angry, kind of like some of the other ones we saw, and it's not really fearful like the ones much, and but it's kind of just an general uneasiness about the whole thing. Okay, so what we're going to do, I want everybody to come over here and gather around my little still life here. And we're going to draw these with our pastels. Now you can add or delete color. You can add it if you want to create a certain feeling. You can use all black if you want to. I'm going to give you some newsprint. Everyone's going to have to share these pastels because I'm limited, and since we have such a full class, and it's kind of hard sometimes to get all the slides to go around. Now this project is going to be a timed project. The first one I want you to do, and I'm going to tell you what kind of feeling I want you to portray in this first one. The first one I want you to do is anger. Okay, now try and make these bottles, there really is no feeling in this still life. It's just sort of a there. But what I want you to do as the artist in this class is be real creative and try and make these bottles, make them feel like you're angry. If you want to, you can even show the bottles as broken in pieces, and that might be a way to portray that it's angry. So I'm going to go ahead and give you about 7 to 10 minutes to work up a drawing and try and portray that in this drawing. And in the next drawing, we're going to try and show a different feeling. So we'll get to that, and I'll just come around and see how you guys are doing.